Have you ever felt like the loudest thing in a relationship isn't shouting, it's silence? You ask a simple question, you try to share how you feel, and the response is nothing. No eye contact, no acknowledgement, just a heavy, suffocating quiet that fills the room. At first, you try to stay calm. You tell yourself they just need space. But then the silence stretches on. Minutes turn into hours. Hours turn into days. You start replaying conversations in your head, rereading texts, searching for something you said wrong, even though nothing actually happened. And slowly, without realizing it, you stop feeling like a partner. You start feeling invisible, like a ghost in your own home. That isn't quiet time, that isn't maturity, and it definitely isn't healthy communication. In healthy relationships, silence can be restorative. It can be a pause to regulate emotions, to think, or to cool down before continuing a conversation. Healthy silence comes with reassurance. It sounds like, I need some time, but we'll talk. The relationship still feels safe, even if the conversation is paused. But in relationships involving covert narcissism, silence is different. It's weaponized. Silence becomes a way to punish, control, and destabilize you without ever raising a voice. This is called stonewalling. It's the deliberate refusal to communicate, engage, or respond, especially when you bring up something uncomfortable. Notice when it happens. It often appears right after you express a need, right after you set a boundary, right after you ask a question they don't want to answer. One moment, you're addressing their behavior. The next moment, the focus has completely shifted. Now you're asking, are you mad? Did I do something wrong? Please, just talk to me. The subject is no longer their actions. The subject is your anxiety. This is how silence creates power. It forces you into a state of emotional pursuit while allowing them to avoid accountability entirely. Over time, you learn something dangerous. Speaking up leads to abandonment. So you stop speaking up. You start walking on eggshells. You prioritize their comfort over your emotional safety. You shrink your needs to keep the peace. That's not compromise, that's conditioning. And if you've ever wondered why the silent treatment hurts so deeply, why it feels almost physical, there's a reason for that. When someone you rely on emotionally suddenly acts like you don't exist, your brain doesn't register it as a communication issue, it registers it as a threat. From an evolutionary perspective, being ignored or excluded meant danger. Survival depended on connection. Research shows that social rejection activates the same area of the brain as physical pain. Your nervous system floods with stress hormones. You enter fight or flight, but there's nothing to fight because they won't engage, and nowhere to flee because you want the relationship to work. So you freeze, or you fawn. You apologize for things you didn't do. You become quieter, softer, more agreeable. You try to earn back connection. And when they finally decide to speak again, the relief is overwhelming. You feel grateful, even though they created the pain in the first place. This cycle is called intermittent reinforcement, and it's one of the strongest bonding mechanisms in psychology. They withhold connection, then they restore it, and your nervous system learns to chase relief. This is how trauma bonds form. It's important to understand the difference between healthy space and punitive silence. Healthy space has a time limit and a return. Punitive silence is indefinite. It ends only when they decide you've suffered enough. Ask yourself, does their silence appear randomly or only when you assert yourself? Does it show up when you ask for clarity, honesty, or respect? If silence follows your boundaries, it isn't self-regulation, it's control. So how do you respond? Your instinct will be to explain more, to apologize, to knock louder on the wall. But the most powerful response is non-reaction. When they go silent, disengage, not with anger, but with self-respect. Do not chase, do not beg, do not collapse yourself to restore comfort. Instead, validate yourself. I expressed a need. That was healthy. Their refusal to communicate is about their emotional immaturity, not my worth. You cannot fix a relationship with someone who refuses to communicate, but you can protect your sanity. You can stop participating in a cycle designed to silence you. The silent treatment is meant to make you feel small, to make you doubt yourself, to make you believe your needs are too much. They're not. If someone prefers to silence you rather than understand you, they've already given you important information. Don't let their silence define your voice.